Welcome back to the Mohawk Valley Sportswatch. Thanks for making us part of your Sunday morning. I think we got Coach Durr on the line. Pags, if you could give me the thumbs up, I'm excited to talk to her. It's been a little bit of a while. We talked to her last when she was heading out to Dayton. Now that she's there, let's go to the phone lines and talk to her now. Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. So good to hear from you. It's been a little bit of a while, but always great to have you on with us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So, Coach, what's it been like so far this year for you in your first year at Dayton?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. We've really picked it up these past couple months, and we really played a tough out-of-conference schedule, I think, which really prepared us for in-conference, where I believe we're 8-0 right now, or 9-0.
Yep.
We've won 12 straight games, and we're just kind of on a roll. You know, once you get to conference play, it's a grind, and you got to take every game, you know, like it's a big one. And yeah, we've been playing really well and finding ways to win.
So, Coach, is the first year for you there? Is it what you expected it to be, and then some?
Yeah, it really is. You know, I really enjoy the level of play. The amount of work that goes into, you know, every scouting report, every practice, every workout, and just kind of, you know, seeing behind the scenes again as a coach, kind of on the other side, you know, and learning from someone that's really great in this business, and Shauna Green, and I'm really fortunate, I'm really lucky, and I'm really enjoying the experience.
Now, Coach, you mentioned Coach Green, and this is her sixth season, and she's had a really good, 5 years, and this is year 6. What was your relationship with her before you took the job at Dayton? How did you guys cross paths?
Yeah, so Ryan Gensler, who's a Syracuse, he grew up in Syracuse, and he is the top assistant on the staff, and he was really my connection to Coach Green. He's the one who kind of got my foot in the door, per se. We kept in touch throughout my playing career, and then when I coached at Mohawk Valley, and he reached out to me in the summer and was like, hey, if you want to, get in at this level, this would be a great opportunity for you. So I really didn't know Coach Green. Funnily enough, she was on the staff for Dayton when I played them my freshman year at Iowa State in the NCAA Tournament. So she always jokes that was her scout, and they killed us. So she always makes that joke and rubs it in. But she's been great to work with, definitely somebody that I admire. And like I said, just somebody who does it right, does every little thing right, and is someone that really I couldn't be more fortunate to learn from.
And, Coach, we talked to you before you took off for Dayton, but how tough was it when you look back now? You had the one season at MVCC as the head coach. You guys went 17-7, and unfortunately, the second season, because of COVID, like all sports, were shut down. But how tough was it really for you to leave this area, where you grew up at?
Yeah, and like you said, it's where I grew up. My family's there. Made a lot of friends along the way, and it was really tough. But like I said when I called you before I left, if you don't do the things that scare you, then you're not really living. So I really wanted to push myself, see the level in which I can coach at, and at the end of the day, yeah, it was a tough decision to leave my family and make the trek to Dayton, but I couldn't be more fortunate, and I'm really happy with my decision.
And when you talked about non-conference schedule, and you look at some of the teams that you guys played, how did that non-conference schedule help you for the conference schedule? Because now, hopefully you remember, Coach, but I'm a Fordham grad. So I'm pulling for you every game but one, and you beat Fordham earlier in the year 52-48. So I'm going to pull for you again. But when you play Fordham, I'm kind of hoping you tie. But talk to us a little bit about the non-conference schedule, how it's helped you.
Yeah, Coach Green's a big proponent of really scheduling a tough out-of-conference schedule. Playing the big Power 5 schools. We played Duke, we played Mississippi State, Clemson, Illinois, Florida. So I think it just really shows where you're at on a national level, which is always a good thing, and you can see ways to improve. And as you know, conference, every game, everybody knows you. Mm-hmm. The ins and outs of what you run on offense, your personnel. So it's really just, it comes down to executing, your game plan. And it doesn't matter if you're last in the league or first in the league. You could be upset and be in any night. So Fordham especially was a tough game for us early in conference, and Coach Green would agree. I mean, they outplayed us most of the game, and we were just lucky enough to get a few stops down the stretch. And we have a really tough stretch coming up of games. We have VCU, Rhode Island twice, and Fordham. So it's going to be tough. And like I said, it's a grind, and you really just you have to execute the game plan and really just believe that you can win until the end.
I haven't looked at. I've seen the A10 standings, but obviously you'll know this better than I do. Some of the conferences, are one bid league that you have to win the A10 tournament to get in. Is this year's the A10? Will there be multiple teams that'll get in where you don't have to win the tournament this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are 2, 3, maybe even 4 teams that could potentially make the big dance. I think. As Coach Green says, this is the toughest the league's been since he's been a head coach. And like I said, any night somebody can upset you, and that just speaks to the level of play, I think, in the A10. You have Rhode Island right there. You have Fordham right there. And, in our eyes, we believe that they're a tournament team. So it'll be interesting to see and what the committee, looks at and, if we get more than one bid.
This is Pags. It looks like you're getting a lot of good guard play out of your guards with Makira Cook and Erin Whalen, and then you got Jenna Giancone. Talk about those girls and how they've kind of led the way for you guys with Cook. I mean, she's got 16 points per game. Talk about how they've been playing for you.
Yeah, Makira Cook she's so dynamic. She's actually a freshman technically on the court, a sophomore in the classroom, but with her COVID year, that just really helps. And she's just dynamic. She's probably one of the best guards I've seen, and so young. I think last night she was 13 or 15 from the field. Shooting mid-range shots, three-pointers, layups. I mean, anything you can think of that girl can make. And she's turning into a leader, which we need. And as a young player, sometimes it's tough to take the reins, but she's taking it in stride. Erin can shoot the heck out of the ball. She's probably one of the best shooters I've seen. And she's just a leader, especially, with Jenna. They're 6-year players, so they know what it takes. They have the experience, and they've really just led the way both on the court and off the court. So we have a good mix of experience and of, youth, and it's really coming together for us.
Coach, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to take it on a personal level for a second here. So, Henderson ends up going to Ohio State, so your record stays intact. And I know, as you saw her play, I've seen your comments and talking to her. You always said records are meant to be broken. But how does it feel to still hang on to that record?
I think I won't hang on to it for too long, if I'm mistaken. I think Jackie Piddick at South Jeff is pretty close to it.
Yep.
And, like I said before, records are made to be broken. I want it to be broken. I think it just sets the bar for a new generation of kids to really push themselves and excel at a high level. And like I said, I couldn't think of 2 girls, because Kaya would have broken it if she stayed. I couldn't think of 2, young girls that deserve it more. And I've seen both of them play, and it's honestly an honor at the end of the day to be broken by such good players.
Coach, and the last question I had for you was, you got a chance to play in the NCAA tournament at Iowa State, and now potentially as a young coach at that level get a chance to make the NCAA tournament. How special would that be for you as such a young coach? Yeah,
it's very special. I think, as a player, sometimes you take things for granted, and you don't realize how big of a moment it is to play in the NCAA tournament or be a part of a team that's in the NCAA tournament. So I'm really going to cherish it. Hopefully it happens for us. Again, we got to take one game at a time, but yeah, I think with this group that we have, they're really special, and hopefully we can make the tournament and make a run and turn a few heads. That would be fun. So again, just thankful for the opportunity, and the NCAA tournament is our goal.
Well, listen,
Coach, before Rock finishes up here, they always rib me in the studio about our relationship, this and that. Listen, the real question here is, how much do you miss Coach Pags?
I miss you so much.
See, I knew it.
It can't even be, put on a scale.
Coach, I'll tell you.
We roamed the hallways of Notre Dame. We were on the court together. We were pals, man.
We were.
Emily, listen, I gotta say this fast. When Pete came in here today, I said, Pete, there was a time where, he was out for a while. He couldn't come down to the show. He was out, and then all of a sudden I had you coming in. That was the first. He was here early. I'm always the first one in here. He was here early that day for you.
Me and him go back.
Hey,
man.
I'm glad I could get the band back together. Whatever it takes.
Listen, it's good to have you. Good to have you back on here. We love following you. I love following you. And as I said, I'm pulling for you. But when you go to Fordham, I'll give you one stat on Fordham. It's the oldest Division I gym in the country. The Rosehill Gym.
Heard.
Small gym, but it's when it's full. It's a nice place, but Emily, we love having you on. I know we'll do it again, and we're proud of you.
Good luck, Coach.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You got it.